Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back as we talk Bassmaster Classic on this Saturday, February the 27th. And golly, it's hard to believe it. Next weekend, Tulsa, get ready.
Hey, it's less than a week
It's
away.
less than a week away. Mark Copley sitting over. You recognize Ron Wong. He's one of only 5 Wongs in the world, you know, and everything. The rest of them, we don't know where they are. They're all back.
He's always been Wong, too.
Yeah, he has been Wong. No, he was white one time. White, I mean.
That's right.
Yeah, I was getting that carried away.
That's right.
Yeah, and then, of course, Bill Cooksey from the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing News. And
Morning, everyone.
hey, yeah, and we got a young man on the line with – everybody's young when they talk to me.
Well, I have to tell you, our next contestant
What do we got, a beauty contest here?
in the upcoming
Does he win that?
2016 Bassmaster Classic, this guy's one of the most consistent anglers over the years. He's won over $2 million.
That's pretty consistent. I'll take that for a fact.
I'll bet you would.
Let me give you my address at Christmas, okay? All right. We got Todd Faircloth on with us. Good morning, Todd.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing this morning?
You can tell we're having a hard life here. You know, Ron Wong is geared up. He's got his motorcycle all down in gasoline, heading to Tulsa. Let's talk a little bit because Ron's fired up to see you over there, Todd. What about going to Tulsa?
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it. We fished a classic there a few years back, and
yes.
Just a great event. Had a great crowd there. Grand Lake's a great fishery. Hopefully this year it won't be as cold as the last time we were there.
Why does everybody keep mentioning that? You know, like you don't have a jacket. You know, how cold was it? You remember it compared to all the times, Todd, in your fishing career? How would you compare the weather for that classic?
It was the second coldest one I ever fished in. The last one, that South Carolina, was the very coldest one I fished in.
Yes, we discussed that with Casey Ashley. You know, he doesn't mind cold weather. It's the wind and the snow and stuff along that line that you got to. But Ron, I know that you and we all know Todd and his reputation. He's one of those guys that knows how to fish these kind of lakes.
Yeah, Todd, to get to the Classic this year, it was a struggle last year for you, wasn't it?
It was. It was definitely. I hit a mid-season stretch there that I got in a slump, and it's
not a good time. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was one of the roughest stretches of my career, but I ended the season on a very positive note, and I going into the last 2 events, I didn't think there was any way possible that I could qualify for the Classic.
Uh-huh.
And, it happened.
It happened.
I won the very last tour event, and that just goes to show you that you're when you think you might be out of it, you're never out of it. So it ended on a good note. I feel like I'm carrying some positive momentum in my fishing. A lot of this is confidence and
mental
deal, and so I ended on a positive note, and hopefully I can carry that into the Bassmasters Classic.
Well, Mark Copley and I were sitting here earlier, Todd, and looking at the weather. We're talking mid-60s in Tulsa there, and 85 miles from Tulsa at Grand Lake. How does that set up for you?
I'm the nicer the weather, the better for me. But
I vote with you, Todd.
I'm from Southeast Texas, and I'm just not accustomed to all that cold stuff. But it is what it is, and whatever it is, I'll go into it with a positive attitude. You don't ever, just because the weather's nasty or rainy or cold or whatever, you have to mentally stay positive. But it looks like we're going to have good weather, so I won't have to, psych myself up for that. So, I think this year, kind of the mild winter we've had, and the tournament being a few weeks later than it was the time before, you'll see some of the same stuff that was key in the last time we were there. I think you'll see some of that same stuff work, but I think you'll also see some things come into play that didn't necessarily come into play last time. And anytime you fish a late winter pre-spawn tournament, you have to be willing to change and adapt daily, because what happened or what was going on yesterday might not necessarily work the next day.
Well, 4 years ago when it was at Tulsa, it was one on a jig, and I think a jerk bait was used. So kind of like what you're saying, it's going to take those kind of baits and something else. I'm thinking a red-eye shad maybe. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, it's off limits now. We can't get any information like that as far as what baits.
Okay, cut that out.
From y'all. I can't get any information from y'all.
No one heard Ron ask him about a red-eye shad.
Todd, I'm still trying to teach Ron. It's a work in progress.
That's okay. Now we've messed up his mental psyche, here and everything. But you did mention, Ron, about that in the mental part of this thing. How do you do this, Todd, as far as get yourself mentally prepared for the Classic? You go in a room the day before and lock yourself in there, beat against the wall. A lot of these guys have different things that they try to do. So what's the mental approach that you take?
Well, I have a routine that I kind of go through. I like to get a day, get up there. It's about an 8-hour drive from me, so I'm gonna travel up there, get up there a day ahead of time, and just take a day off. Kind of go to the grocery store, get me some groceries.
There you go.
Just kind of relax that day and then get up. For the next day of practice. But tackle preparation is a real big thing for me, and being organized, knowing where everything's at, having every possible different case scenario or bait available in my boat during practice.
Yeah.
And, that's a pet peeve of mine is getting out there and thinking of a bait or a certain color and thinking about throwing it and not having it in my boat. That drives me nuts.
Okay. So you're one of those guys that really want to be prepared and have everything in order. And if something's out of place, that's going to throw you off. So
I'm one of those. I guess you would say I don't like to be rushed about anything. I always try to get to where I'm going an hour ahead of time, and I like to have everything laid out and like to be organized, have a game plan, and not necessarily to say during the course of a fishing day I might not change that game plan, but I like to have a plan. I'm a man with a plan.
I like it. I'm marking Todd Faircloth, man with a plan here, and I can tell that this is. To me, and we've talked to you before and everything like this, that this is a life-changing event, but at the same time, you've got to put life in perspective here. I mean, and be prepared and not be over-prepared. Is that right?
I think sometimes, for me personally, everybody has their own little routine that they go through and how they prepare for tournaments and stuff like that. And what works for me might not necessarily work for another guy. But
I can see that. You
have to do kind of what's comfortable, with you. And I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I don't want to get mentally bogged down with too much information. And I want to trust Todd Faircloth's instincts out there on the water, and just do what feels naturally to me out there, and
I haven't seen.
Usually, when you do that and you trust your instincts, good things will happen.
I haven't seen the odds yet on this. They've been putting out these odds over the years. Come on, let's don't do that. I really don't like to see somebody they say is 40-1 or something along that line. I don't know if you guys keep up with that, but. Did y'all like that? Do you like to know? I don't.
No.
But they've done it like,
they don't do it, so we don't need to talk about it. I'm happy it went away.
I'm glad it went away. That's what I was telling you.
I don't have any money to use on those odds, so
I'm just wondering who won the money on it, And, I was getting ready to go with Todd right there. Okay, now you've knocked me out of it.
I'm just ready to see which one of my 6 are going to win it.
That's all you care about.
Everybody that's in the Classic is definitely there for a reason. And, they fish their way into it. And they're all very capable of winning the tournament. So, it's just whoever puts it together the best for 3 days, and all of them are capable of doing that.
Well, I know we're trying to we really appreciate you kind of squeezing in with us here, and Ron Wong has either got to go to the restroom or he's asking for my attendance over here. I mean, Ron's holding up one finger, and I think he meant number one for you.
Right.
So,
Todd, you're a very versatile fisherman. I've seen you change from day to day based on the conditions and everything else. How does Grand Lake set up for you?
Yeah.
I like Grand Lake. I grew up in southeast Texas here by Sam Rayburn and Toledo.
Oh, yeah.
And our lakes are a little bit different than Grand, but, the only thing I wish Grand had in it that it doesn't have in it is some aquatic vegetation. But
okay,
I've done well at Grand Lake before in the past, and the last time we were there I did pretty well. But, it sets up good. It's got a lot of diversity to it. It's got a lot of rock, some docks, and there's some different things that could come into play there. And I like that to have about a fishery is not. I don't like to just have one dimensional type fishery, and it's a diversified fishery, and you have to kind of sample everything during practice to see what might work and what might not work, and that time of year you want to try to look ahead, and because the fish are definitely going to be changing, and you have to kind of prepare for that.
Well, I think you will be. Todd, we appreciate you taking time to be with us on this Saturday morning, the weekend before the Classic. And I don't believe in luck, but go get them, okay? I mean, you've always you've won me on. Just don't get too uptight. Now you're a laid back guy, and I like that in a person that takes it as it comes. So have a great trip up there, and all the Jaspers in the United States are pulling for you, okay?
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, guys.
All right, buddy. All right, Todd Faircloth. Yeah. Oh, that'll be nice for that. All right, let's take a break now, and we're going to come back and we'll continue this Bassmaster Classic conversation.
We'll be talking with Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Now, I think we've said that before, but we're going to talk to him this time, okay? All right, we'll be right back going to Mount Ida, Arkansas, on Outdoors of Larry Ray.
Find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.